Welcome to the No Cap Sports Show podcast, where sports and combos collide. I am your host, Fredo.
I'm your host, Mo Money.
I'm your co-host, Mills.
I'm your host, Cobra.
I'm your host, O-Dog, a.k.a. O. And tonight,
what's going on, folks? We live tonight, man. Long time no here. What's going on?
We on Uncut. We had a surprise for Cobra, but our producer gave it away. The number one producer, Fred, and my man, Money Mo, they gave it away.
A.K.A. Gunner. We don't start calling Fredo Gunner.
They gave it away. Hey, it is an absolute honor and a privilege, on a serious note, to have this special guest. He has been like a brother to me since I was 14 years old. Been around. We've traveled the world together. We've worked out together, and more importantly, like I said, he's been like a big brother to myself as well as Cobra. This is the one and only Mr. Sean Springs.
Hey.
Bring him on in, Cole.
Yeah.
What's good? What's good?
Hey, look at him.
Uh-oh.
You need a ring light or something. You too chocolate for that,
Hey, Kobe. I'm dark, man. I ain't gonna lie. I'm in camp. You know, Ohio State in camp. We getting ready for the national title. That's why I look like that. We getting ready, baby.
Yeah, it's a little cooler in South Bend. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel you. Hey, I'm so proud of everybody. I'm coming from Leesburg. Forgive me. I'm in my car. I'm at practice. Down in Ashburn area. My son was at practice. I heard O introduce himself as O-Dog. Out this way, he's known as Uncle O. He done come a long way. Hey, we've been knowing each other since 14 years old. Now my kids take him to the gym. They push him down. My sons take his shoes.
Hey, look here, man. Hey,
look. He Uncle O, man. That's Uncle O out here, man.
Hey, look here. We getting straight to it. We ain't wasting no time. We getting straight to it.
Wait a minute. Let me say hey. Hey, Sean. How you doing?
Oh, I'm
hey,
sorry,
darling.
Mills.
What's good?
We get ready to get straight to it, Mills. We talking trash tonight. We live.
Yeah, damn it. Let's get it.
Welcome to the show, Sean.
Let's get it.
It's about to be wide open, Sean.
You damn right it is.
I love that.
Yeah, we get straight to it. Hey, but on a serious note, how does Ohio State look this year, especially with you not having a quarterback, you know, a certified quarterback? You know, you just got a young boy that's stepping up. You got Marvin Harrison Jr.'s quarterback, a high school quarterback, and things like that. But normally, you know, Ohio State has that main quarterback, whether, you know, when one steps out, they just reload and keep going. So how do you feel about Ohio State's transition in the quarterback situation?
Well, first of all, when you got Marvin Harrison, anybody can throw. Hey, Fred, you can throw to Marvin Harrison. He's going to put up Heisman numbers this year. It doesn't matter, man. I mean, we just reload at Ohio State. We're a very talented program. This year, you know, it's looking like that we the coaching staff with the defense and the offense and the weapons we got on offense and the young receiving core. Brian Hartline has moved to the pass game coordinator. Really excited in Columbus about the potential of the offense. So we're not really worried about the quarterback position. It's a nice battle this year between McCord and Brown. One of them is going to come out on top, but we expect no fall off from our offense.
Nice.
Hey, one more thing. I want to say congratulations to Kobe, too.
Congratulations,
Cole. You cut out. See, that's what you get. He was getting ready.
Somebody calling his phone. That's what's happening.
Oh.
He don't have no idea.
Yeah, you don't have no idea.
Yeah,
okay.
See? Yeah.
Good. That's good.
He said good.
Because he was saying something that wasn't even no good to say.
He about to say
You back?
I'm back. I'm back.
Good.
I'm back.
So you said, big bro, what would you was congratulating me for?
Oh, I was congratulations for Notre Dame going to that new conference with Washington State, Oregon State, Ball State, Florida State. Hey, y'all look good, man. Y'all in that new conference, man. Y'all on Stanford, Cal. Congratulations, man.
September 23rd, bro. That's all you need to know. September 23rd.
At South Bend.
I know I'm down about 3-4 steak dinners, but so what? September 23rd.
I love it, man. I love it, man. I love it. What's
Hey,
going
Sean,
on?
I'm a recent fan since recent in that Larry Johnson is almost like basically an uncle to me. So I wish you were there I wish he was there when you were there, but I know you know who he is because he's a legend. What can you say about Larry Johnson?
I mean, the proof is in his pudding. Proof is in the pudding when you look at the players that he just put out over the last 5 years, and actually before he even got to Ohio State at Penn State, Coach Johnson was considered one of the best D-line coaches in the country. He's continued that tradition over at Ohio State. Nick Bosa, Joey Bosa, Trace, Sawyer. Yeah, we're just loaded up. He's a great recruiter, and I'm super excited about the way our DNs and the kids he got there now because he continues to put them out.
Mm-hmm. I wonder how long he wants to do it because they'll hold on to him as long as he wants to stay.
As long as he keep getting that check. We play good. We play good up at Ohio State now.
No BS.
What they call it, Big Nut Nation.
Yeah, Buckeye Nation.
Too soon, fellas.
No, you good.
No, you good on that. You can say
I
that.
just caught on, Mills.
Hey, what's going on?
If any of them said it, that would have been a pause.
We got technical difficulty.
Hey, Slim, a major pause. A flagrant foul plus 2 shots.
Knock it off. Knock it off. I'm back. What's good?
Hey, Mr. Springs, so you talked about Marvin Harrison Jr., but when you was at Ohio State, you competed against some dogs as well. Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, Joey Galloway, David Boston, to name a few, should have been at practice with you. So during your time at Ohio State, which wide receiver had that dog in him? Which one was the most competitive in your opinion?
Well, they all was pretty good, man. I mean, Joey, Galloway, he was the fastest of them all, and he was just an animal. But rest in peace to my man Terry Glenn. I think Terry Glenn was the most complete I played against. Terry was smooth. He could run routes. He had top end speed like no other. He was competitive. I mean, Terry Glenn was an animal, man. I mean, he was he just was the complete package because Joey had pure speed, 0 to 60 in like a second. But Terry could run routes, man, unbelievable. Change of speed, hands, incredible. So Terry was the guy that gave me, I'll be honest with you, Terry is probably one of the people that made my transition from college to the league so easy because he was just unreal. He was already a pro in college.
Okay.
Great question. Great question, Mo.
What's up?
Great question. Go ahead, Fred.
Wait, no, go ahead. Jump in, Cole. I got you.
Coke sipping.
What you sipping on, cuz?
A little more back today, something mild, Something mild. I want to make sure I'm focused because we got some shit to talk today.
Oh,
yeah, right.
And Sean. Can't wait to talk about the NBA because y'all know I'm waiting on that. We got to talk about the NBA.
So he got 5 teams, Mills. Don't pay that. Don't pay him no attention.
So
He's
look,
a Washington Wizards fan.
So, bro, all kinds
ain't nothing wrong with that.
No matter what kind of sport you playing, basketball, football, whatever, there's always a team on the schedule that you circle. Whether it's 1 team, 2 teams. What was that team that you circled that you knew Ohio State was going to have to bump on a Saturday afternoon?
Man, obviously, that school up north that we don't like to talk about. That's something I don't like to talk about. My record ain't too good against them. But another team that a lot of people don't know about, man, I hated to play against was Wisconsin, man. Because Wisconsin made it just a physical football game. People don't know you got to go up there to Madison. It's cold. DBs don't like when their toes and feet cold, man. You can't play in the cold weather like that. Your feet hurting. And they ran the ball. So Coach Alvarez always had a real physical, big, team that played us hard, regardless if we played them in Columbus or in Madison.
Nice.
Did they have that big? What's that big back they had?
Ron Dane.
Ron
Dane.
Dane.
Yeah, was
Ron
Ron
Dane.
Dane there?
Yeah, Ron Dane. Ron Dane was there for sure.
Ron Dane.
Yeah,
So,
Ron Dane.
even though I know your story, why don't you give some of our viewers a little bit of your story, how you came? Because I think it's a very interesting story, and a lot of people don't even know how you transitioned, how you started your high school career in Ohio, and then you came here to Maryland, DC area. And I was telling Fred and Kobe last night about one of the reasons why, at the time Springbrook was ranked in the top 25, and I was telling them about that a legend, Leonard Green, and how vicious he was being ranked in the USA top 25. So just give them a little bit about your transition, why you came down here, and what made you choose Springbrook over DeMatha or Carroll or those types of schools.
Well, first of all, let me give a shout out to Oxon Hill Boys and Girls Club. We used to smash.
We beat y'all.
No, you didn't.
Y'all lost one game, bro. Y'all lost one game to Clinton Jets, bro. Y'all lost to us, bro. Go ahead, man. We can talk about that later, bro.
Let him shout out Oxon Hill, man. Go ahead with that, man.
Give a shout out to my Oxon Hill Road Runners Boys and Girls Club, because that's where I really honed my skills. And then, I was living over in by Iverson Mall with my mom, and she was like, nah, this ain't where you need to be. So she sent me to live with my dad in Ohio for a couple of years. And I was playing in Ohio. And then all of a sudden, my dad was like, this competition got to change. He was taking a job at Howard University with Coach Steve Wilson, my man Steve Wilson. Give a shout out to Steve Wilson. I give all my game and all my skills to Steve Wilson. Omar knows how important Steve is. I actually lived with Steve for a little bit. Legendary. Howard
11-year veteran.
Yeah, so Steve Wilson was like my uncle and my father's best friend. They played at the Cowboys together, so we came back to the D.C. area. And I'm going to be honest with you, my dad gave me a choice. So when I got down here, we was looking at schools. He said, we can go over to DeMatha, and then the other school was Springbrook. They had a legendary coach, Bob Malloy. So I go to DeMatha first. They had everybody. They loaded up. They had a nice program. I go to Springbrook. I walk in there. There's a little weed in the air, girls walking in the hallway. I said, I got to go to school here, man. I ain't going to lie to y'all. And Coach Bob Malloy, shout out to Coach Bob Malloy, who was just a legendary coach. And all jokes aside, like, they had produced Mark Sturdivant, my man. They had Darren and Kevin McClinton, the McClinton's brothers there. They had my boy went to Michael. They had Leonard Green, who was a USA Player of the Year. So they were littered with athletes all over the ACC. Damn. Guys playing high major football, and Leonard Green, people don't know, was not all Met. He was a USA Today Player of the Year, and quite honest with you, I was intimidated. Like, I ain't that. I'm nowhere near that. That kid is an animal, right? Well, so I got there, Coach Bob Malloy and those guys. We chalked it up, just met. That's where I met Omar, my little brother, Isaac Williams, my man. And we just played there. I played at Springbrook. And then from Springbrook, man, we was, real good. We had the national reputation of just putting out athletes. And the crazy thing about my junior year, I didn't really get no looks. And then the start of my senior year, every coach in the country was coming to the school. Now, Omar at the time, he's my senior year, he a sophomore. He my tour guide. That's my manager. That's my first manager. All the Lou Holtz, Barry Alvarez, Joe Paterno,
Lloyd Carr,
Gary Nolan, Michigan staff, Miami, Coach Alex Woods and those guys, Tennessee, Phil Fulmer, all of them in the school. They just Omar meeting them at the hallway. He walking them down the hallway. hey Fred, he walking them in the hallway in the school, and the teachers was like, "Don't you supposed to be in class?" Like, "Nah, I'm good."
You told me.
So
Damn.
Not surprising at all.
Crazy,
Hey, Mills.
Damn.
Hey, Mo, I told him y'all gonna be right back next year anyway to see come get me. So I
Hey.
don't know what it is.
Damn right.
So let me
Yeah,
damn
introduce
right,
my-
bro.
Hey, look here. Let me introduce myself now.
Yeah.
Hey Mo, I knew his whole class schedule. So
Yeah.
when they came into that administration, Mo, I said I know why they here. So I would go to his class and interrupt the class. But I would be respectful,
Yep.
Mills, as a teacher. I say, excuse me, Miss Mills. The office needs Mr. Springs, and they be like, "Don't interrupt my class." The next thing you you hear that thing from the office, and I just be like this. I told you so. I tried to tell you. Yeah, I tried to tell you. And then
Yeah.
so I would just introduce them and let them know, like, y'all gonna be right back to see me. So you better talk to me now because next year I might just blow you off. I might not want to talk to you.
Got it.
Yeah. And
Hey,
Sean, is
most-
there any way you can put a car light on? I know you're driving, and that's
I'm
probably
about
not.
to be.
He got
I'm
the
about to
light
be-
on, Mills. That's blue.
I'm about
Oh.
to be at home. I'm sorry. I apologize. 8 o'clock is my pickup. I'm on daddy duty. I'm
I
almost
got
home
you.
like 5 minutes.
All right,
I
we can make it. We can make it another few minutes.
Hey, but I tell you
I'm
one
sorry,
thing, big
I'm
bro, you got an outstanding dentist because your teeth white as a motherfucker. That's all I see. Them things, hey, text me that info. Text me the information.
Yeah. See how you do? See how you do me?
Hey, you see how your little you see how your little bro doing you like that, big bro?
I know. I got something for him. Hey, and then after September 24th, he going hiding for about 2 years. I won't see him no more.
Hey, Sean.
Yeah.
Hey, me and O was rapping last night, and I was telling O, I said, I used to watch this high school football show on Channel 50, man, and it would show all the highlights of, the local high schools and stuff like that in terms of how they're doing high school football. And it just seems to me it was always Springbrook, Pilate, Damascus, Sherwood. I mean, tell us about your
Seneca
experience,
Valley,
man. In terms of the competition back then.
Say that question one more time. What you say about the competition?
Tell us about your experience playing against those schools, or the time that you played against those schools back then. Like the Pilates, the
Montgomery County,
the Sherwoods, and the Damascus.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, we felt in Montgomery County, we felt that we were Paint Branch, Wooten, Churchill at the time, who was producing some guys. We felt like the county wasn't getting as much respect as we thought because everybody was on DeMatha, St. John's. Carroll was killing at the time, and then over in Maryland, over in Virginia was T.C. Williams, Lake Braddock, South Lakes. People knew about them, and we.
No, I want to stop you right there. You just said what school in Virginia?
Where? No, I'm just saying.
You said what school in Virginia? That was good.
T.C. Williams, South Lake.
Okay, there we go.
Hey,
That's
Sean,
right there,
you got two Titans on, two mighty
Okay,
Titans.
I just wanted to make sure you said that proper. I did not mean to interrupt you, Sean. Go ahead, bro.
Look, wait a minute, hold on.
2.5.
Wait a minute, hold up. Since you did interrupt him, right? Now watch how crazy this is, Mills and Fred. Sean Springs' father and Kobe father, right? Kobe father and Sean Springs' father was both on the all-state team. Both of them was the starting running backs. Sean Springs' father is down there in Williamsburg, Virginia, and Kobe's father was at T.C. Williams. Both of them were the two running backs on the all-state team. At that year, they both came out as seen. How crazy is that it comes back around? A
Full
circle. Shout out to my man Carl Turner.
Yes.
Shout out to Uncle Carl. Love you, man.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Ron Springs too, as well.
Shout out to Papa Springs. Papa Springs and Uncle Carl Turner. That's vicious.
Yeah, but that George Michael sports machine was crazy because that's what everybody wanted to get on George Michael. If you could get on the sports machine or Channel 50, and I think Chick Hernandez, me and Chick still talk about it. Chick Hernandez was the guy who was really leading that show, so man, everybody wanted to be on there, man.
Wow.
Yeah,
wow,
rest in peace,
man.
George Michaels. Ain't nobody like George Michaels.
No doubt.
No, that time machine was something else
Nobody
back
like
then.
him.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, man. So look, hey, so Sean, I'm just now finding out, man. And I talked to my little bro last night, and he sent me a couple of pictures of him. I did not know he was him back then, man. I know this interview is about you, but I did not know O-Dog was actually him back then, man. I did not. This dude got so many. Hey, Mo. Hey, Mills. This dude got so many football accolades to us. It's a shame, bro. I didn't know he was an All-American like that. I did not know he was.
Bro, go ahead.
I did not know none of this.
You better receive that. Oh, you better receive
Yeah.
it.
And Omar also didn't know his plays. This big fucking hey, this fool playing varsity as a freshman. We in the middle of a play. He talking about which way I go. Go that way, get out my way. You big dummy. You know. Yeah, I was a beast. Just give him the ball, man. Just give him the ball.
Hey, Mo. I used to come in there and tell him because I knew I was only gonna get 1 or 2 carries, Mo. So I used to say, "Shit, I'm getting." The play is I'm getting the ball and I'm about to score. Man,
Hey, what was that character on? I know y'all remember Wildcats football.
Yeah,
Wildcats. You was that dude.
Yeah,
I'm about to see the program. I'm about to see.
Hey, was nasty. He came in as a freshman pretty confident. I'm gonna be honest with you, because my junior year and his freshman year, I was a new kid, and everybody knew about O from White Oak. Him and Isaac was killing. But they ain't want no freshman. O was the first freshman to play at our school. But I ain't even know this at the time. So he the first freshman to ever start varsity in Springbrook. So it's new kid and me and O, because he had to move up. We put him on. They put him on like he just skipped over freshman, put him on JV. He out there talking about show up to the game early, because if you don't show up, I'm gonna score 3 touchdowns. You're gonna miss me. You know what I'm saying? Get out early to see me. He treating it like it's intramural. So they had to move him up. So O get up, all the varsity dudes mad at him. You know he was already bald in the 9th grade, so you know the dudes was mad at him because he was already ready. He was like that, and he was killing, man. He went out there and O produced, man. And he did real good, and he just kept it going and stuff, you know.
I appreciate the words, man. Appreciate the words. This ain't about
little Booby Miles over here. I ain't even know this, bro.
Oh yeah, no Booby Miles. Knock it off.
Hey, so bro, we know you. We know you was a monster at Springbrook, and you killed high school, and your recruiting was real deep. What schools did you decide to take visits to?
I went to
tell the truth. Tell the truth.
Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State, Wisconsin. Where else I go? Did I go anywhere else? That might have been it.
You only took those 4, I think. Oh,
those 4. And then Maryland.
Miami and no Alabama.
Maryland didn't even recruit him.
Alabama came late. Gene Stallings was just coming on. They came late.
Yeah.
Maryland didn't even recruit me. Coach Shannon and Maryland told me I wasn't good enough to play at Maryland.
Hey, did you ever see him again?
Right. Where's he at now?
We saw you again.
Yeah. They got fired. They got fired that next year, but that's cool.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah. It looked like it worked out for you big time.
Somewhere.
Yeah, but a lot of people don't know. I had committed to University of Michigan.
Mo, listen to this, Mo. Mo, listen to this, because I know you got you're gonna have a good question for him. Listen to this, Mo.
So,
Go ahead, tell him what happened.
So on National Signing Day is February 8th. So February 7th, my dad come home. We gonna celebrate me signing national intent to school. Now keep in mind, my stepmom went to Ohio State. My dad went to Ohio State. So I get, and he said, where you want to go? I said, it's off of Briggs Cheney, Randolph Road over there. There was a little Chinese restaurant I like going to. Like, let's go to Chin Chin's or whatever it is. Cool. She said, where you going to go? I said, I'm going to go to Michigan. My stepmom, she light-skinned black woman. She get red in the face. And I said, yeah, I'm going to go to Michigan. She hot. Get quiet at the table. He said, okay, cool. We take a ride home. It's cold. There's some snow out on the ground. And get to the driveway. My dad said, wait right here, man, before you get out, so we can just have, a little father-son conversation. I said, okay, cool. I'm thinking he's going to say, I'm proud of you. He said, look here. If you going to Michigan, don't bring your ass to my damn house. Right? Man, so now I'm stuck. So I ain't know what to do. So that's how I ended up at Ohio State.
Wow,
Crazy.
man.
Crazy.
Yeah,
What?
but I mean, because the reason I like Michigan at the time, man, I went up there and they had these dudes with some. Everybody know them as Fab Five. I had Tyler and Jalen.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah,
I'm up
man.
there. I had the Michigan
all of
Scully. I had the Michigan Scully on, the big shorts. I had everything. I'm with Jalen Rose, Steve King. I'm with Tyler. I'm Michigan is where it's at. Oh, I tell you, we love the Fab Five. We watching the Fab Five and everything. And then next thing you know, man, didn't work out. You know how it is.
Wow.
Dang.
Yeah.
So how was
Deep,
your experience playing for Coach Cooper?
Yeah, Coach Coop was cool. It was like having a whole bunch of pros. He had 15 of us He had 15 of us, and every year going pro.
Yeah.
So that's right.
Did you start your freshman year, Sean?
Nah, man, I was about fourth on the depth chart that year.
So did Antoine Winfield come in with you?
Nah, so Antoine is like a year younger than me.
Okay.
Antoine's a year younger than me. So I had a man Plummer and Antoine. Antoine is about a year younger than me, and next thing you know, Antoine was a beast coming in school. So I had Antoine Winfield, and then him and Ahmed both through first rounders. And then my last year, I had one of my young boys was a guy named Nate Clemens and Derek Ross. And so we were loaded up, and then we just kept the tradition going, man. That's why we became DBU.
Man, hey, you messed me up with that one. It could have been you and Charles Woodson at Michigan.
Hey, man, I'm mad at Coach Cooper about that. I told him a lot of wood. So we had the number one secondary in the country, and we was recruiting. I hosted Wood, and we really wanted him. But Michigan promised him he would start as a freshman, and Coach Cooper was like, "Man, we pretty nice, man. I don't know if you're gonna start as a freshman." I'm like, "Come on, Coach Cooper, you should lie to him, But Antoine Winfield was the 5A player of the year, and Charles Woodson was the 4A player of the year. So they had already had Antoine, so they felt pretty good about what they had.
Yeah, you're right. Woodson from Ohio, right? So yeah,
Fremont, Ohio.
Fremont. Yeah. He's from Fremont, right outside Toledo.
Hey, so I'm gonna give you your flowers while you living. Like your generation of DBs made me fall in love with the game of football. Like that 96, 97. I remember when it was you or Charles Woodson, who was the best in the country, and then those matchups that y'all had with him going against David Boston, you going against High Streets. I remember very vividly. And then the only time I wasn't feeling you, Mr. Springs, is when you went to the Redskins. I know the bag was called.
Man, get out your feelings, bro.
Man.
And you had to go in 2004.
Mo Mills, he's a Cowboys fan.
I know he is because his dad played for the team. He got to be. You know what I'm saying? So, but I want to ask you about that 2004 season because I remember it very vividly.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know you're the first defensive back to lead the league in sacks and interceptions that year. So
shout out to Greg Williams.
Tell us a little bit about your mindset that year.
Man, I came from Seattle, and I felt that out in Seattle, and O will tell you, man, because where every year I would train. O was in Canada at the time, and I was in Seattle. So soon his season was over, he would come out to Seattle. Then we would go train. He would go home for a little bit, like holidays. Then we would start training in the off season. And I used to be frustrated, man. We used to call ourselves duffel bags. I tell you, we had a duffel bag with a pair of cleats and the shorts at any moment. We didn't care if we was coming from the club.
It's okay to curse. It's okay to curse.
It sure is. Be yourself.
Okay, and then we ain't give a shit. We was coming from the club, being out all night, whatever. Somebody wanted that bump. We would go out on the field. We in Scottsdale, Arizona. We would go out on the field. And I felt like. And I felt like nobody was close to me, but people weren't even really seeing what I was doing. Like my second year in the league, I had 7 picks and I think like 2 or 3 touchdowns, and I was second in the defensive voting for defensive player of the year, and a lot of people don't even know that. Then I had 13 in that year. I had 6 weeks where I got 1 ball or less that game. So, and then my third year, I thought I had an even better year, but I wasn't getting no ball. So I felt, and O would tell you, man, I used to struggle with the fact, like, man, I'm out in Seattle, don't nobody know where I'm at. So I just had like a little chip on my shoulder. So when I played in Washington, I really saw Washington playing the NFC East.
Mm-hmm.
And then with T.O. leaving San Fran, going to the Eagles, and then Dallas, I was like, oh, I'm going to go kill the East. So that first year I showed up in Washington with Greg Williams, we was nasty, man. Like that whole the attitude in Washington, and it just, although I'm a Cowboy fan, growing up in this area, man, I know how important football is to the people here for this community. We see that now with the new ownership, but it's always been like that, man. My aunt would, you know, she my aunt Diane wouldn't even go to work the next day if the Redskins lost. But for me, growing up in this area, it was important, and I felt like obligated to show the respect. So when I went out there like I'm playing for the people. I'm playing for like youngins at like Oxon Hill Boys and Girls Club. I'm playing for people at Springbrook. I'm playing for people at Springbrook who believed in me. I'm playing for just the people in the city. I played for the fact that when I went into love, nah, you good. You walk through the door. You know, we walking through the kitchen in Arizona. We doing stuff like that. So that was my love, and that's what I played for. So when I went out there in Washington, I played hard, man. Then Greg Williams and Coach Gibbs, you can't let Coach Gibbs down. Coach Gibbs like your grandfather. Like you can't let Coach Gibbs down. Like, and when Coach Gibbs got me, Emrod, then we had Sean, Estott, rest in peace to my man. That hurt me, but that's a whole different story. We can talk about that and my dad's situation at the same time that year. But man, I just felt like we needed to bring that reputation back to Washington because Washington's some dogs. We about that life, bro. We about that life for real.
Sean, you ain't never lied, bro. Y'all was about that life, man, especially defensively, bro. I mean, man, I always admired the way you played, you know what I'm saying, from a cornerback standpoint, bro, because like I don't know if I had this discussion with or what have you. I think I did. We was talking about Eli Apple, and I was complaining about his coverage in the Super Bowl. Yeah, right. Eli Apple. I know he's an Ohio State.
Never heard of him.
You ain't feeling him neither.
Never heard of him.
Okay, I love that guy. I love that guy. I love that guy. That's what I'm talking about. That's what the fuck I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about right there.
You don't associate with people like that. He's a Potter. Go ahead.
Good. Hey, bro. Need you say less, bro. But let me say this. Let me say this, Sean. I always love the fact how you know, like how you played your man coverage, like bump and run. You didn't. I never seen you like 10, 15 yards off of a wide receiver whatsoever, man. I always respected your techniques and everything, champ.
Appreciate it, brother. Appreciate it, man. Greg Williams, shout out to Greg Williams. So coming from Seattle, a lot of time, I would tell you, I'll be out there bored, not really into it and stuff, because I just felt like, you know, towards the end of my career, I was just like, man, it ain't it. But then I wanted to come to the NFC East, and Greg Williams and Jerry Gray, they kind of like changed my perspective, and they used me, they blitzed me. You know, I was blitzing and getting picks and, you know, just part of a fun defense. It was fun. I got knocked out that year too, but that's all good.
And we had Mills, and we was getting ready to go tear the club up that night. I said, out of all damn nights you get knocked out. Corn Robinson had just flew in town. We up in the
Newtown.
I love Corn.
We up there with Mama Uncle G. We having a great night. We getting ready, man. Soon as I said, man, party over. We got up and said, time to go, man. Let's make sure my man all right. We ain't going nowhere.
I love it. Y'all, look, I got to meet Corn. Sean, I work for ESPN out of college. So I got to see off LaDainian Santana, Corn, Drew Brees. But I love Corn Robinson. NC State, was it?
Yeah, that's right.
I loved him. And then it was so short-lived. Freddie, who was the Freddie Mitchell? Freddie
Mitchell, Philadelphia.
Yes, that was my first year on the draft, so I got to meet them. But I got a question for you. I'm a Cowboys fan, but I grew up here, so everybody's like, "How?" I'm like, "Easy. You either one or the other." And then Pittsburgh. I don't know. It makes no sense. But from a management perspective, being a Redskin, you know, now Commander in that organization? You were at Seattle, you were at the Patriots. How what was the best management system for you, and how did you all especially work plan for Washington with all the historic greatness of the team? Yes, I said it, okay, but the team was always embroiled in some mess. How were y'all protected? I guess that's kind of two questions.
Well, from a management point of view, Paul Allen, his money is different. So the Seahawks facility is not. Let's call it what it is. Mr. Allen can buy every team once and every stadium twice.
Wow.
Yeah.
That part right there.
He's different. Nobody. I mean, come on, man. He founded Microsoft. Him and Bill Gates. I mean, the bag was different. We had our own private jets. They built a brand new facility, first class, everything. So Seattle just became like right now. Their facility on the water, you can pull boats up. They were on a different level as far as like starting from my second when we got the new stadium and everything. But from a tradition standpoint of view, nothing was like Washington playing for Coach Gibbs. Bill Belichick ran the best organization as far as just from coaching, and Coach Holmgren was good too. So I had 3 Hall of Fame coaches: Coach Holmgren, Coach Gibbs, Coach Belichick. But from a tradition standpoint of view, nothing was like Washington, man. Like showing up to the stadium, you got people playing go-go. I mean, seeing the lights when you pull up to FedEx, you pull off right there. Man, I mean, first game we played was Coach Parcells and Coach Gibbs. Man, that was unbelievable feeling as far as tradition and winning. And I hope these young guys get to feel that. And I got to feel like, not that we were like super good at the time, but Coach Gibbs brought that with his reputation. Coach Gibbs is incredible, man. You walk in there, you did 3-4 Super Bowl trophies, and Coach Gibbs brought that to the table. So that was big time.
Yeah. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what, Mr. Springs, in your era of football, I feel like you and Chris McAllister are probably the most disrespected. Nobody ever brings y'all up in those conversations.
Yeah.
So give me your top 5 cornerbacks of your era and your top 5 wide receivers. I'm talking about the guys that gave you that work now. You can't win them all.
Hell no, he ain't win them all. That's why we was in Arizona training.
Yeah.
That's where I met my wife. Thank you.
Yeah. Shout out to Brent. Top 5.
You already know.
Top 5. Arizona. Ooh, Lord Jesus. But anyway, top 5. Yeah.
You want me to dip out for a little bit, Sean? I'll let y'all have this conversation.
Absolutely not.
I had to pause. He said Arizona. I had to pause for a quick second.
You good?
Champ Bailey, Wood, Chris McAllister in my era. I mean, I would say Dale Carter was kind of like him and Deion, and it was little, but Dale Carter.
That's before you.
Okay.
Yeah, take them 2 out.
Okay.
Get somebody else.
That I know. Ty Law. Oh, I'm forgetting. No, my boy ain't watching. No disrespect to my boy. T Law, and I'm missing somebody else that was nice in my era. Is Shante Samuels in my era? No.
Sam probably a little after.
Sam Madison.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna say Chris.
Yeah.
Sam Madison was.
Who? Chris? Who?
Chris McAllister was.
Fred, you already messed up once tonight. Now you pushing it. Now.
Yeah, Chris was in there. Chris was in there. Chris was in there. Yeah,
he was on
Chris
the team.
My man. Yeah, Chris was on
Bobby
there.
Taylor.
Who?
Bobby Taylor. Al Harris.
Oh. Al Harris.
I like Al.
But Al was a nickel.
I'm back in.
Al was a nickel though. Al can boogie though.
I would say Troy. I would say from a secondary perspective, I would have to say the Eagles, Dolphins, Ravens. Or Ravens, Ravens.
Yeah, Surtain. Yeah.
The Dolphins was nice. Dolphins was nice. They had
Patrick Surtain, Madison, Sam, and then they had the safety. Yeah, they were boogie.
They were nice. They were nice. They were third. the Eagles with Bobby Taylor and Brian Dawkins, and Troy Vincent, Owls, and they were number one. Number two was the Ravens, because you got to say it wasn't even a defense. It's two defensive players that I say that's not even like defensive players in my mind. Like people would ask me, it's like, man, who was the best corner? It's like, why you don't say Deion? Because Deion wasn't a corner. Deion wasn't a corner to me. Deion was the best offensive player to ever play defense.
Wow.
Damn.
Wow.
I like that perspective. I love that.
That's an awesome perspective.
It really is.
Because there's people who probably cover just as good as Deion, just got less many balls. But the difference between Prime, and I tell everybody, he made you pay when you threw the ball at him. He scored. A lot of people can cover.
Right.
I can give you Michael Haynes, Blunt, but I can give you stats upon stats that you won't even believe. Aeneas Williams, Cass can cover.
Right.
Cass can cover. It ain't a lot. But the thing that scares you about Prime was that he gonna take the ball, he gonna score.
Right.
Ed Reed was the same way. Ed Reed is one of those dudes like he just, but not just get the ball. It's cats that I mean, Darren Sharper got the ball, but Ed Reed got the ball and scored. Ed Reed would do shit. You'd be like, damn. Like you were thinking you watching the replay from the week before. He took one on Cincinnati 99, then came back.
Come on. Hey, listen, man. Listen, you on the podcast show. You go ahead, bro. Anyway, you did that on purpose, bro. Yeah, you didn't listen. Answer the second question of Mo. Who do you like now? You forgot that part. Your CTE kicking in.
Oh yeah.
Stop it, Mo.
He asked me top five receiver. Let's
hey, Mills. You told me to be me, Mills. Now let me be me.
Yes.
You said the receivers who are.
No, he said in this era. He's talking about in this era.
But he also said receivers try to get at me.
The receivers. Yeah, the receivers.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Moss.
Okay.
Holt.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Moss, Holt, T.O. Marvin.
Yeah.
If I call you by your first name, you know who I'm talking about. Marvin. Galloway.
Okay.
Galloway, Joey was a monster. Joey's one of them dudes that killed a lot of cats. Now in this era, who I like, in this era, the DBs I like in this era, no particular order. The boy from Green Bay, Jai Alexander.
Yeah, Jai Alexander.
Yeah.
I love Sauce.
Oh yeah.
I love Patrick Surtain. I like J.C. Horn, and I like Denzel Ward.
Okay.
Ooh,
My five.
That's a good one, man. That's a good one.
That's a good one. And there's a couple dogs out there. No disrespect to them. There's some dogs, but I'm impressed with some of it. I mean, and there's some dudes that's aging out, but I'm very impressed with this little young boy, Jai Alexander, and them cats, man. Where he plays football. I love the way he approaches the game.
What you think about the hometown kid? What you like Diggs?
Stephon? Yeah. Trayvon,
yeah.
Trayvon, yeah. I knew that's my man. I was just with him a few weeks back. Trayvon, good dude.
Nice.
Yeah, nice. Him and Steph. Love that. All much respect.
Let me ask you this, Sean.
The other network that I used to work for, they used to have a show and they had you got cranked up or you got muffed
jacked up,
right?
Yeah.
What was your best hit on an unwitting receiver?
Good question.
It should have been paying attention to you, but wasn't.
But that's a good question. I'm gonna tell you an interesting fact about you got jacked up. So O was talking about I got knocked out. We supposed to go with Corin. Hey, that hit was so bad they stopped showing you got jacked up. After that hit.
It was you.
It was. Hey, damn near killed me. I woke up. Hey man, I
got to go to YouTube.
On when I woke up.
What they asked you? Who the president? What's your name?
Man, I must respect. I still like Andy Reid. Andy Reid called me in the hospital about 3 a.m. Man, I was messed up, but yeah, jacked up. I don't know if I really blew. Oh, I hit. There's a couple receivers I didn't like. I always try to. I hated Hines.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
Nah, I ain't like Hines at all.
I just use some cheap shots.
Yeah. I hit the boy. I hit the boy from the Jets. I smacked him. Cochran or whatever his name. I knocked him out. Yeah, I caught him slipping. But no,
Lavernius.
Not Veronius. She's my teammate. Lavernius is my teammate.
Okay.
Yeah. We talking about football, man. We got you know what you got to do on No Cash. We got to say something crazy. We got to make some crazy predictions. I know y'all got some crazy predictions going. You know,
Well, you tell us. You got a prediction. You got crazy prediction. You tell us.
You got them because you always got crazy predictions.
Kobe, get him, Kobe. Get him. Get him about that basketball.
Oh, you want a crazy prediction in football, or what we doing?
Hey man, we can go either sport, bro. Go ahead. You flow.
Yeah, run with it.
I got a few predictions I want to talk about.
Okay.
I love this guy.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Hey, y'all heard it here. Green Bay will win. Everybody talking about Aaron Rodgers leaving. Green Bay will win the NFC North with Jordan Love.
I agree.
That ain't crazy.
That ain't crazy, bro. You gotta come on, man. This is the No Cash Sports Show podcast, Sean. You gotta come with something better than that, bro.
Okay.
All right, step your game up, Sean.
All right.
They got no QB.
A lot of people feel like Green Bay's gonna finish last, but okay.
No, I don't.
Nah, we already did our predictions. Nah, that ain't good. That's not a good one.
Justin Fields will have a better year than Joe Burrows.
Oh, hey, I like that one. I like that prediction.
Somebody Phillips just got hurt.
Is it because he gonna be hurt? Is it because he gonna be hurt?
No.
Was he drunk?
Right, you heard it here first. Justin Fields is going to have a better year than Joe Burrow.
Man, you can't be serious, Sean.
Ohio State versus LSU. Let's do it.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
So you like Baltimore over Cincinnati for the division?
Hey, hold on. What Cobra at? Cobra,
I'm right here.
You not feeling Justin Fields?
No, I like Justin Fields. I love that pick. I love that prediction. I'm
Of course you do.
Hey, look, I love it. I can't stand Joe Burrow.
Okay.
Hey, do you like Baltimore winning the division over Cincinnati?
Pittsburgh gonna win that division.
So y'all want me to switch hats, and now here we go.
Oh my goodness.
Here we go. You said,
what
listen,
did
he's
you just say?
speaking truth. Oh, you can't get mad because he's speaking the truth.
I didn't hear what he said.
You heard
it.
Nah.
You heard that.
Nah. I heard you say
I want to know the bold prediction.
I heard you say something about Justin Fields gonna party more in Chicago than Joe Burrow gonna party in Cincinnati. I heard you say something like that. Like he gonna have a better year partying or something. Everybody gonna party more in Chicago. Yeah, no question. But go ahead.
I'm not feeling Lamar Jackson winning that conference this year. I'm feeling like
you was doing so good at first.
No, I'm not feeling Baltimore. I still think Cincinnati is the team to beat that conference.
There you go. Now he
came back around, bro. He came back around.
Let's be honest.
We ain't never removed the guest from the show, but he working on being the first.
I'll protect you, Sean.
You better, Mills. He gonna need help.
You gonna disrespect them? Like the only dude, Cincinnati, what they've been doing, their body work 2 years. I ain't gonna disrespect that. I'm not gonna disrespect that team.
Kobe don't really believe that. That's that malt back kicking in. He drinking. Ain't nobody saying that no.
But y'all got to remember, Joe Burrow haven't beat Baltimore when Lamar Jackson was starting at quarterback.
Man, hell with that, Kobe. I got a bold prediction. Ohio State won't make the playoffs this year.
Man was hurt.
Oh, you heard that?
What?
You heard that first. Ohio State won't make the playoffs this year.
Man, sit down.
God
Get
damn.
up, get up, Fred, and sit down again.
Boy, what's wrong with Fred?
Damn it, I said it.
What? No, like the kids say.
Ohio State will not make the playoffs this year.
Who your college team anyway?
You know my man. Stop, hey man. Don't. Hey man. Let me tell you something.
My bad.
You know I'm roll tide all day, every day.
Y'all got a
Bottom
bigger
line.
problem. Y'all got a bigger problem. You worry about Kirby Smart, then we can talk
Hey,
about that.
I understand we got a quarterback issue. Y'all got a quarterback issue too.
Now we don't have a quarterback issue. I told you can throw to Marvin Harrison. He gonna win the Heisman. We don't have a quarterback issue.
That's a bold prediction right there. That you say he's gonna win the Heisman over the
That's
boy
not
Caleb
bold.
Williams.
He the second.
You
best
said Caleb Williams gonna win the Heisman again?
I
No,
think
he
so.
said
Marvin
Marvin
Harrison.
Harrison.
second best receiver in the NFL.
No.
Yeah, he do
Okay.
need to move up, but he's not the best receiver in the National Football League. You bumped your head on
I
that.
said he's the second best.
No.
Who's the second best wide receiver? Who's the second best wide receiver, Sean?
Marvin Harrison is the second best receiver in the NFL.
He being funny right now, man. Man, shut up. Hey, man, listen. Hey,
Fred,
let me switch gears. No, for real.
No.
Let me switch
Go
Fred
ahead.
on that dipper, though. Fred on
No,
that
let me
dipper,
switch
bro.
gears.
Y'all
No,
stupid.
seriously.
Stop.
He
Real.
said I'm on that dipper.
Let me switch
Fred on
gears
that
real quick. Seriously, on a serious note, for the people that's not listening, can you give them a little bit about what it is that you're doing now about the WinPack company and
Yeah, I can do that. How much time I got some bold predictions, man? I wanted some NBA bold predictions, man.
All right, well, let's talk a little bit about WinPack. We know your bold
He
predictions.
said
You like the
he said he got
Washington
nothing but time. Oh,
You like the Washington Wizards. We know you like the Wizards. You think
Knock it
we
off.
both like the Wizards.
Not
yeah,
terrible.
there you go. You think Jordan, what's his name? Jordan Poole gonna win the comeback player of the year.
No,
He not gonna win it because he's gonna be
James
down.
Harden.
Slim, he gonna average about 30 though.
It don't matter. He gonna be at Rose Bar. He gonna be at Rose Bar too much. He ain't gonna be. It's not gonna work out well for him.
Yeah,
He gonna average about 30, bro. Bottom line, he got
He
an open
ain't gonna
line.
work out well for him, Mo. I promise you that.
I
He
do.
at Rose Bar.
I do think Anthony Edwards is going to be the league MVP, and he takes over as the best young player in the league.
I ain't mad at that. I ain't mad at that at all.
Some people
not mad at that.
Some people on this podcast are big fans of John Moran. He got his hat on backwards. But anyway, so
that makes two of us.
You want to talk about that though?
That makes two
He
of us.
said John Moran. I was like, wah, wah, wah.
My favorite, everybody know who my favorite basketball player is.
And who is that?
They just won a championship. Denver Nuggets.
nah, knock it off.
That's my favorite player.
This ain't even a bold prediction. LeBron came back one year to win the chip. LeBron wins it this year.
That's bold as a mug, bro.
That ain't bold.
I don't think that's bold. I don't think that's bold enough, Sean.
That's super realistic.
Sean, you got to give us bold, man. That's not
So Sean, what's gonna happen with James Harden? Where he gonna play at this year? What type of season you think he gonna have?
Fact.
You smoke hookah, you gonna catch him in Dubai.
Daddy.
That sound like a Confucius joke.
Shout out to pressure, my boy Matt. What's up, nephew?
Hey, if I'm James Harden, man, I'll be over there. He gonna be 6'4", 230, smoking hookah, $800 million a year. Man, knock it off. But, hey, the sports world is owned by Dubai right now. Let's say what it is. It is what it is, and that's a topic for another day. But people don't want to know the truth. That money different.
That money really different.
Hey, bro. Speaking of money, I'm a backtrack a little bit. How do you think you would have done in this new NIL culture in the NCAA?
Shit, I know different than I was. I started NIL. I was NIL. What you in the chain for me, coach.
Facts.
What are you talking about?
Hey,
He said, "Man, I was NIL."
put it in my name.
This one can speak freely now.
Oh man, don't write me no checks. All cash, straight cash, homie.
I ain't need no company. I negotiated my own deals. Straight cash. What we talking about, man? Come on.
Nah, seriously.
There it is,
How
Kobe. That's the answer
ironic
right there,
today
bro.
they were talking about what's the guy? Oh my God, his name skipping my brain that lost his Heisman because of all the shaking.
Reggie Bush.
Reggie Bush. Today they were talking about that.
Man, get that man his Heisman back, man. Go ahead with all that foolishness.
Honestly, the truth about NIL, man, name, image, and likeness. There's another true story. Oh, you tell them about the whole when I called you on the Trump thing?
Oh, shit. Let's go.
Not yet, but go ahead and tell him.
So when Trump was in office, he had a sports council, and the NCAA was getting a lot of things. So dude from the sports council called me and said, hey, man, I want you to come down there, President Trump and his team, Andy Giuliani, Rudy Giuliani's son, Trump got some people he want to talk about paying athletes in college. So I called, you think I should go down there and see what's good with DT? These guys trying to get me down on the hill talking about it. But I ended up going down there talking about it. And I think, to his credit, I don't even let people know that the government really pushed it. But the crazy thing, they said they just didn't want guys with Ferraris and gold chains, but they wanted athletes to get paid. So, so I gave my 2 cents and input in there on the NIL. So here's what I think about the NIL. I think it's a good thing that athletes getting paid. I think NIL is gonna probably change from name, image, and likeness in these organizations, third-party organizations. The monies these companies want to get the name of the likeness to kids through the third party. What I think is going to happen is the money is going to be too big that these players are no longer going to go through third party. The schools are just going to be paying them as employees.
Dang.
You're going to be working. It's going to be pro. It's going to just skip to it. You can see how they lining up the big. Let's talk about it. It's all about TV money. Soon Notre Dame coming to the Big Ten, and it's going to be Notre Dame, USC, UCLA, Oregon, Washington, and Nebraska over there, and then it's going to be like the NFC North up north, and then it's going to be like the NFC South down south with Alabama, Georgia, Clemson, blah blah blah. So at the end of the day, I think we're about to see an era where you can go to the school and you're gonna be like an employee of the school. You're gonna work for Ohio State. You're gonna work for Clemson. You're gonna get that bag.
What do you think about this transfer portal?
Man, a Dr. Pepper commercial, man. Hey, these young boys don't have no patience, man. These kids, and like at the end of the day, man, it's for years, these schools were making a lot of money, but now kids want to play, man. Like, I hate to say we're in the generation of like player first generation. They got their own brands, they got their own power. Like, the TV is everywhere now. You know what I mean? Like Deion had people watching games at Jackson State, national television.
Right.
You can see it anywhere. North Dakota State is on TV.
Shout out to Sam Kidd. Shout out to the Kidd family.
Yeah, you make plays. They can see you. They see you everywhere. Now, at the end of the day, ideally, if you can be ABC 12 noon or the 1 o'clock game, cool. But it ain't like they can't see you everywhere now. So it's youngins coming out of Shenandoah making plays. Like, you know what I mean? You get drafted everywhere right now. It's all about exposure.
Right.
You said we was talking about football too much.
I play for the love of the game. What bothers me a little bit, I think a lot of the kids do too. Like, it hurts me that kids skip the bowl game. Like when I was coming up, Keith Jackson, you hear Keith Jackson in the Rose Bowl is like everything, right? Like everybody want to play. Here seeing Dick Vermeil, Keith Jackson, them call the Rose Bowl or the Peach Bowl or something. All that was important to me. Now these kids like the money too big, the bag too big. I'm not gonna play. The next man up. You know what I'm saying? So that hurts me a little bit because you lose a little bit of that traditional loyalty of like the things that I think is important. Like you can never get that the experience I had playing in the Rose Bowl was amazing. But maybe it's like you're gonna have to play your freshman and sophomore year because the year you're going to league, people are out of there.
So you said we was talking about football too much. So I got a basketball question for you.
Yeah.
Recently, Steph Curry said that he was the best point guard ever. And he pointed out that he's better than Magic. So what's your opinion on that?
He's honest. I mean, I'll be honest with you. If you look at his game and what he does to the game and how he changed the game, some people might be arguing in his generation he's the best player in this generation.
So to me, is it not just about, obviously he's a pure shooter.
Right.
Is it not just about that? Like what else, what else, I mean, does he bring? I mean, and that might be
game.
a ignorant question, but what else?
Let's talk about this. First of all, he's a pure shooter, but he finished. But the thing I like about Steph, he shows up in big moments. He shows up when the team needs. He shows up in big moments.
Sean, I beg to differ.
Huh?
You said he shows up in big. Okay, outside of this last championship that they won, beating Boston, I give you that. But there were times that he didn't show up, and somebody from here named KD had to save him.
I knew it.
I mean, let's talk about it.
But even before KD got there, their first championship, he didn't even get Finals MVP.
Hey,
You can elaborate?
Yeah. First of all, KD didn't save him. They won a championship before KD got there, but KD was the man. And let's be honest, KD is unreal, right? KD would be if he doesn't get injured, KD might be the best player of his generation. Let's talk about it. KD changed the game. His skill is unmatched. Positionless basketballs. KD is different. Animal, avatar. Get it.
Yeah.
But
I'm using my words, Joe.
yeah,
With your own words, champ.
knock it on. Anyway, when you talk about Steph Curry, man, are you talking about when he had Mark Jackson, Kobe? Knock it off. Ever since
talking about when Iguodala won the MVP.
Iguodala won MVP.
Iguodala won the MVP.
He had Draymond. He had Clay.
Hey, listen. Let me help. Mo. Sometimes he says something just to try to get underneath our skin. If you haven't
Every
picked that
time,
up. And
every
he's doing
time.
that on purpose to Kobe. That's listen. Next question, man. We're not paying that no attention.
Okay.
Everybody know Magic Johnson. He is
Right.
what it is. It starts with Magic. Okay, like he said, I gotta be in the conversation. Yeah, you can be in the conversation, no problem. But it starts with Magic. Conversation, no.
But when
Just like with Jordan. Just like with Michael Jordan.
My argument would be this, bro.
Hold on. Can I say?
Hold on, let Kobe talk for a second. Hold on, bro. Let Kobe talk.
All I'm saying, big bro, my argument against Steph being the best point guard ever is he's not even a point guard. He don't even run the point for his own team. Draymond he facilitates that entire offense. Entire offense.
Okay, well, I appreciate that point. Draymond Green, I appreciate that point.
Sean, do you want to retract your statement?
I just seen Dwayne Wade just last week in his Hall of Fame speech, right before he named his top 5 players. I didn't see Magic on there, but I saw Steph Curry. I seen LeBron or his top 5 players. I didn't see Magic on there, but I saw Steph Curry. I see all these NBA players that y'all are so calling the Hall of Fame best, greatest of the great, name their top 5.
Magic changed the game.
He's not on. Is he in the top 5 for all time players then?
Don't fall for it.
No, he's not top 5 offensive players, Sean. But man, he is top dog in point guard. Hey, Sean, it ain't even close. It's not even close. It's not even. He don't even have to score, Sean. It was his impact on the game, man. You talking about triple doubles? You talking about everything, bro. He was that dog.
And you're not gonna see another 6'9" pure point guard.
You're not, man. Pass first point guard.
Look at what LeBron. We're looking at LeBron.
He not a pure point guard though.
Man, knock it off, man. Magic ain't no pure point no more, bro. Knock it off.
That's all he played.
Okay. I love Magic. I hope I'm sitting in the suite with Magic, and I tell him to his face, "You're not a top 3 Laker to me."
Oh my God!
Sean, I want. Hey,
Well,
Sean,
why
I want
would
you
you do that, Sean?
If Magic is top 3 Laker.
Whoa! Hold up.
So who the third then? I know you got Kobe. You got Shaq. Who the third?
So
I don't care who the third is. I know Magic is number 1. Period. Bottom line.
Oh yeah.
Kobe, Shaq.
I got Kareem number 1. Magic 2. Kobe 3.
Kareem ain't no damn number 1. It was Magic number 1. Magic is number one.
Hey,
Don't even
Coach.
disrespect Magic like
Go
that,
get a
Coach.
water, man. It's that
Hey,
Malbec
Fred.
kicking in.
Hey, Fred.
Man, y'all
You
tripping, man.
friends with Mayor Barry?
Man, let's go back to football,
Oh
man.
my God.
You friends with Mayor Barry?
Y'all killing me on here, man. I
Coach,
swear.
man.
it's a hell of a drug, huh?
Them championships ain't come. Them championships ain't start rolling into Magic got there in his
Correct.
rookie year. So stop that foolishness, all of you. Stop it. Stop.
So you can't
Magic, Magic is the best point
Kobe
guard
off-
ever, and it ain't even
Kobe
close.
off of Magic.
Hmm?
You kick
Everything is based off.
Isaiah said, go ahead.
What?
Hmm?
There you go.
I ain't started O. I ain't started.
What?
I ain't started O. But let me ask you this, Sean. How is can you let the viewers and the listeners know in terms of your experience playing with the great Sean Teller? Rest in peace, Sean.
Absolutely.
Awesome. I seen that kid come a long way, man. And I played with some freak athletes. I mean, I hold Sean Taylor in very high esteem, just the way he went, his business-like approach when he got serious about football. Talent, unmatched, size, speed, attitude, willing, violent. Everything about that kid was he was just awesome, man. And man, it's unfortunate. You know, that's all I can really say on that one. It's unfortunate, man. That kid. I mean, I sat by Sean my last 2 years. I remember my last conversation with Sean was like, man, I don't know how you do it. My dad had just went into a coma.
Right.
And me and Sean was sitting beside each other. He said, and he had just hurt his knee, and he was like, man, I don't know how you do it. You just flying down, you just practicing one day, flying back and forth to Dallas. And he said, man, that's crazy. And that was the last conversation I had with Sean, where we was talking about my dad and family and stuff like that, and how it changed, you know. And he was just like, how tomorrow is not promised. And he was, because I was talking to him about my dad, because I found out in Green Bay, the day before in Green Bay, in that game, Sean had 2 picks. That's when he broke the interception record. You know, Brett Favre broke through the most interceptions. 2 picks. Should have had 4. But he had 2 picks in that game, so that was my last conversation really with Sean. I mean, thinking about that, you know what I'm saying? So
it says a lot about who he was just by no one since he passed has said anything bad about Sean Springs. And you know, being a Cowboys fan and finding ways to not like Redskins and players. Can't say nothing. We can't say nothing bad about him. You know what I'm saying? Just a seemingly great person. And it's good to hear you say he came a long way. You know, people don't know his history, his background, and then to be such a great player and to be on the cusp of everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
And have his life sniffed out like that. That is horrible.
Right. Yeah. It's tough. So yeah, it's tough.
Yeah. All right. I gotta ask you this. I gotta get this off my chest. This is the No Cap Sports Show podcast where sports and combos collide. Okay. I gotta ask you this. If you don't want to answer, I respect it, Sean. I want to look. I'm a huge LeVar Arrington fan, right?
Yeah.
And it was a time, I guess, you know, in the play. I don't know if it was hit into the playoffs or it was one particular year, what have you. I don't know if it was a contract issue, what have you, that he was benched and he wasn't getting any playing time, what have you. What happened with that? Because I was like, I don't understand that type of talent being on the sideline. And then it was rumorville saying that he didn't understand the playbook. He didn't, you know, he was more of a freelancer or what have you. Is that something that you can elaborate on in terms of what transpired back then?
Yeah. That was my first year in Washington. So let me clarify one rumor about LeVar. LeVar, he knew the plays. He knew football. Now I will say LeVar at times did what he wanted to do, but it ain't like he wasn't dumb to the game. I think it was a little bit of both. LeVar was upset with organization because obviously there was some dispute over his contract and money issues, and I don't know who was right or wrong there, but I know that happens in the league where, you know, sometimes things ain't right. And then And then when you're dealing with a guy like Greg Williams, you know, all he asks is you just be 100% committed and being there. And I think a little bit of the problem LeVar had with the organization spilled over to it, and the train wasn't stopping with Greg. Greg is just going to put the best players in there, and you know, and I just think that it was just more so just the differences between, you know, the old regime, the old organization, and you know, obviously there was some whether Champ was supposed to get paid or whether LeVar was supposed to get paid. I think it was some differences there, but and then LeVar had, you know, he moved on. You know, I think it was just, you know, his relationship with Dan kind of deteriorated and couldn't bounce back from it.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, before we get out of here, and like I said before, can you please tell the people a little bit about what it is that you got going on now? You know, with the company WinPack, and you know, some of your relationships that you have with Evo Shield and, you know,
Yeah.
Team USA and hockey and everything, and just tell them a little bit about some other things that you're working on.
Yeah, so my WinPack, let me tell you how I started, man. So first of all, a lot of people don't know I got into technology because when I was drafted to Seattle, I was drafted by a guy named Paul Allen. And Mr. Allen, man, the week later I was drafted, the Seahawks brought me back out because Mr. Allen had put up $300 million of his own money to buy the team, but we needed to go around King County to get the voters to put up another $200 million. And I was riding around with Mr. Allen. He would say, hey, I want to change the city. I want to buy the team. He was doing his thing. And then next thing you know, I was just in the car and it just hit me like, damn, like this dude's a billionaire. And if he can afford to pay me and own a team, what did he do? And he was in tech. So I was just like, I asked him straight up in the car that day. I said, Mr. Allen, do you know you can be a billionaire? He said, nah, Sean, it was about when me and Bill started Microsoft, it was about the term today would be disruptive. It was about us just doing something on the web that changed the way the internet forever, right? Created Microsoft. And that kind of stuck with me because now I'm living in Caroline Point. I'm living in Seattle, 22 years old. My apartment's like $2,700. And I'm like, damn, I know how I can afford to live here. The girl got a convertible BMW. I'm like, how you afford to live here in 97? She said, I work for Microsoft and create a millionaire every 12 days.
Yeah.
The dude down the street, he coming over, we chilling. I said, man, what you do? He said, man, I'm about to go start this franchise. I'm about to go open up these stores for this franchise selling $3 water and coffee. I said, man, what's the name of that franchise? Starbucks. I said, cool. And then my other buddy, in the same neighborhood, like a couple apartments down, I didn't even know what a coder was. He said, yeah, I code. I'm about to go work for this company selling books online. I said, man, people buying books online? Shit, I didn't know that. Like, you can go to Borders. He was like, nah, that company was called Amazon.
Yeah.
Right? So in 97, when I got into Seattle, it opened my eyes up to Amazon, all these different ways to make money. So technology, I was just like, man, more people came to the Geek Wide conference and the Geek conference than they did to the Seahawks games at the time until we started getting better. So I was just like, man, this technology is crazy. So I always wanted to invest in technology, be around it, because I saw Mr. Allen, he would be telling me about data. He said, Sean, I'm in the suite. I broke my thumb. He said, Sean, come to the suite. I'm hanging out. He said, I want you to meet this dude named Steve Ballmer. I said, hey, Mr. Ballmer, how you doing? You know, he was working for Microsoft at the time. So Bill Gates would come to practice and different things. And I was just blown away by technology. Oh, we'll tell you, I was in all kind of crazy classes, AP physics and all this stuff in high school. And I was just like, man, Seattle, like, this is going to be the future. So 13 years later, I start my company. I see this technology that was in a baby car seat because I developed a relationship. So all the young listeners out there and young people, when you're in a position and people want to know who you are, take time to meet them. I tell all these young players, young athletes, take time to meet them, shake their hand, see what they do, because you never know when your career is done or if that's something you want to do later in life. So I'm meeting all these presidents and different things. So I met the dude. He was my wife was pregnant at the time. The dude gave me these car seats that was changing the way we protect infant heads, right? 40-mile-per-hour impacts protecting the head, and the technology in that car seat. I just asked the dude one time. I said, "Hey man, you know those car seats you sent me? That technology is amazing. If it can protect a baby's head, maybe I can repurpose that or use that for football, because football is a series of car accidents, right? It's a very violent sport, but when played correctly, it's a great sport. But the truth of the matter is we need to protect our athletes more. And man, I just started thinking about how I could help save the game, because I would go see my dad and his friends, they shaking, you know, I didn't know what it was. You know, the movie come out 2010 around concussion, right when I was retiring and stuff. And that kind of educated people on the seriousness of concussions and stuff. So I wanted to be a part of the solution. So what I started doing was I went up to Durrell Safety First in Indiana. I said, "Hey man, I want to learn more about your technology, and maybe I can repurpose it." And they said, "Well," and then I was like, "You think I can license the technology?" And then it worked with my attorneys. I ended up getting my patents around this technology. And with this technology, it's like an airbag with a mattress inside for this conversation, right? Absorb and disperse energy. And we called it a crash cloud. But the first 3 years, because I'm not an engineer, I just went around and learned. I called the CEO of Harley Davidson, who was my mentor. I went out to Boeing and met with Boeing and learned about material database and how they build planes. My relationship with Ohio State, I got three labs at Ohio State: Center for Design Manufacturing Excellence, the Scott Materials Lab, working with Wake Forest and the guys in the body model. So I got the top scientists in the world up at Tufts. So I went and learned for 3 or 4 years, and I just went out to Stanford, and I was just learning like what was the real problem. There was three things, you know, I might be telling you a long version of the story. I hope this is good, but it was three things I noticed about football and why it hadn't changed. The same helmet that my father wore was very similar to that I was wearing. Y'all know the white little square little pads inside the football. It hadn't changed in like 30 years. And I was blown away because I'm saying, damn, look how much a Mercedes-Benz or a Honda Accord, look how much cars have changed in 30 years. And the smartest people in the world, we can't solve this problem. People are dying. So I started learning from them. And I started my company, Winpack. And next thing you know, our padding system, I said, I don't want to be a helmet company. I want to work with the Rydell's, the Evil Shields, you know. And I started working with some of the top brands. And at first, they was looking at me like, you don't know what you're talking about. But they didn't know that I went and got the top scientists in the world and all that stuff with my own money up. So people were looking at me crazy, but they was like, damn, how you solve that? Well, I got this technology. I got my own patents around it. I went to the top engineers and scientists in the world. I knew the problems and challenges of impact protection because I wore football helmets. So I started building a team. And then next thing you know, I got my own patents. And next thing you know, I had a material database. And next thing you know, after about 4 or 5 years of learning and being it, the first product coming out, we changed the standard. We were the first company to pass the standard for girls lacrosse. Then we had products on Evil Shield, baseball. Umpires was getting hit with 110 mile per hour ricochet off the bat. They were retiring and thinking about retiring. So we went to Wilson, helped those guys. So you can see our products you watch baseball, you see our products in the catcher's helmet, catcher's mask. We won 3 awards with the NFL for innovation, working with Shutt and those guys like that. In fact, we were training for the new helmet with Shutt until Shutt almost went out of business and stuff like that. But won 3 awards with the NFL. I was an advisor for the NFL looking at new technologies. I won 2 awards for the United States military where we got awarded $1.2 million for the next generation liner system for the padding systems. So my company helped set the standard for the new helmets. The Department of Defense working on a new helmet. So all the new helmets going forward, we helped set that standard on the pads for the United States military. Working with GM and Ford and stuff like that. And then the craziest thing about the whole thing was as we were starting to get products and got to get in the flow, COVID hit, right? I'm scared to death. COVID hit, I raised this money, got products coming on the market. So I had to continue to figure out ways to create value for my investors. So we started the software inside of our company. And so that software is around 3D printing and all that stuff. So, man, and today we like to say Winpack is a technology company that license and sell my technologies and provide software for product development. So I have engineers and different things like that. And it's been hard. It's been a challenge, right? You know, all these companies and post-COVID struggle, but man, I never thought I would be like, if you go into Alexandria, you go to the U.S. Patent Office, you see me right over top of the lady that's created the messenger RNA. You know, everybody talk about the black people don't like the vaccine, but they don't know a black woman created. Come on, people. Come on, we gotta be better, right? Not that you take it, just know, right, that she did. Then and I'm going in the Smithsonian in March of 2014 for 10 years for innovation. You know, so I never thought that my career would transition to being a professional athlete to trying to inspire the next generation of entrepreneurs and innovators. You know, being in the Smithsonian, that exhibit is in March of spring of next year. I encourage everybody to come out and see your boy and stuff. And I'm, you know, it's crazy. I'm grinding.
Hey, congratulations. Hey, I feel like that video TikTok of the black woman in church shouting like, "Good God!" Like you doing it, bro.
I love it.
Yeah, but you know what's crazy? You know what's crazy though? That's kind of like crazy about it. Like one of the weird things for me, and this is something that why I really want to have success with my company is because I'm speaking in Vegas at the Breathe conference. I'm speaking at Oakland. I'm going in the museum. And the crazy thing about it is I'm trying to inspire more athletes to go beyond. And I thank God they are. You see Steph Curry and those guys, investment companies. But I want to see more of our people, young brothers, you know, get into innovation and technology, because it's crazy how I'm seeing the world change before our eyes, and I'm seeing how AI is affecting things, all this stuff. So I'm just trying to tell these guys, like, yeah, there's great investments, real estate, cannabis, and stuff like that. But bro, we got to get in tech. If you're not in tech, we're gonna be lost as a people. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know what your demographic is, but I'm passionate about inspiring the next generation of us. I will tell you, like, I've always been different. Yeah, we gotta say, don't be afraid to be different. You know what I mean? And it's hard, and it's not easy. And in the world we live in ain't set up for us to have success right away, because they look at us like we different, right? But that's cool. You know what I'm saying? That's cool. But I'm just keep pushing. So that's what. And now I love being on a podcast. Love talking to y'all about all this stuff, man. And there it is. Kobe, stop drinking.
Hey, Sean, let me ask you this, bro. Are you still looking for like can we invest? Are you looking for, like I said, can we invest?
Fred, that's enough conversation, Fred. Hold on.
Okay, got you. Okay.
Fred, I got you. We got to hey, listen. WEB, man. WEB.
Okay, got you, bro. I got you, bro.
Yeah.
Okay.
I appreciate Sean, the hard work and dedication, though.
Yeah. I got to make this long money, man. Yeah.
Okay. I've been in security since I was 14. That was also my job.
There it is, my man.
Yeah.
Hey, Sean, before you get out of here, man, look here. We cannot let you get out of here without, a quick rapid fire chant. So you might as well go ahead and get your popcorn ready, man. We're gonna go through this with a breeze, okay?
Let's get it.
All right, man. Look here. R&B album you would like to experience all over again.
112 is my group, man. The 112, one of them.
Q, what up?
Cupid.
What up,
Cupid? All right. Yeah. All right. Person you would like to trade places with for one day.
That's a good one. That's a good
say it, bro.
For one day.
Yep. A person you would like to trade places with for one day.
Shit, Barack Obama.
Okay, man, that's what's up. Best advice you ever got.
Best advice I ever got?
Yep.
Listen.
All right, bet. That's a good one. Cut one, bench one, start one. Lester Hayes, Champ Bailey, or Darrelle Revis?
I'm starting Champ. I'm cutting Revis.
Bet.
I love
That's it right
Daryl
there.
too. Daryl, my man. Daryl, my man. I love Revis.
I bet. If you needed 3 hip hop artists to save your life with a freestyle, who would it be?
3 hip hop artists. Eminem might have to be one.
Okay.
I'm a big Meek Mill. Meek might have to be one. And I'm gonna throw a West Coast in there. Game.
I bet. That's what's up. All right. Antoine Winfield or Fred Smoot?
How people don't know how Game can freestyle.
Okay. We take that.
Yeah, it's trash.
You got to give it to us. Antoine Winfield or Fred Smoot?
Antoine Winfield.
Eddie George or Clint Portis?
Eddie George.
Love, respect, or loyalty?
Love, respect, or loyalty? Loyalty.
Joe Gibbs or Bill Belichick?
Joe Gibbs.
There it is, man. You passed with flying colors, man. That's what I'm talking about.
Yes, sir.
Hey, man, before we get out of here, I just want to close out saying thank you so much for coming on the show.
Appreciate it.
You know, we appreciate you. I appreciate you. You know how I feel about you, big bro. I was a 14-year-old kid. A lot of people, we didn't get a chance to talk about how we met. I was a 14-year-old kid that moved up to varsity, coming from a single family home, mom trying to do whatever she could. And I'm staying here. It is. I'm playing varsity as a freshman, staying after school. Didn't have a way to go home, Mills or Mo and Fred, you know what I'm saying? Because I didn't have any bus money to get back. You know what I'm saying? It was a half a day. You know, you still play on them Friday night games, 7 o'clock. It just so happened Sean was Sean had a test, an exam, and here it is. I'm hanging out in the hallways, just trying to wait for our academic advisor who won teacher of the year in the NFL, but that's another story. Or whatever. And he told me to come with him in 1991. He was like, man, what you doing here? I said, Sean, I'm 14, man. You know, if I go home, how I'm gonna get back? You know, mom at work. And that was 1991. He told me to come with him, and I've been with him ever since. So I just want to give you your flowers to tell you I love you. I appreciate everything you did. And with that being said, you are trash. Bubba Dub. Get out of here.
Go home, man.
All right, brother. We appreciate you, man.
Thanks,
Appreciate you, big bro.
Hey, Kobe,
Get us on out here, big brother Cole.
Hey, I need to talk to you before the 23rd, Kobe. We need to talk.
Look, while we on live across the world, you want to go ahead and set this bet right now in front of everybody?
On live air. Do not.
Hey,
God damn it, Kobe, do it. Set it.
I want all that smoke, but I want my 2 dinners before, because you don't pay up your bets. And so the people out there, Kobe won't pay at all.
Oh.
I'm gone.
Quick to take my money, though.
Tell it,
All that
Sean.
smoke. Bye.
Salute. All right, boy.
All right, that's what's up. All right, get us on out of here, family.
Go ahead, Cole.
No, Mills back.
Mills, get us on out of here, honey.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Hey, you know you're doing so gracefully.
You know what? I'm gonna do it, but this Omar ain't been able to experience this. What I used to do since you said I got it. This song popped in my head. Ooh, ladies first. That's why you want. You know what I'm saying? That's all right, y'all. Listen, we've had some great conversation tonight. Thank you for checking us out. Oh, thanks for coming through with Sean Springs. He was all of it and more. And that last piece about how talented and intelligent and smart the decisions he made. But the one thing I love that he said was it was not easy. But we all got that he did not give up on that. So
That's right.
Check us out every Wednesday at 8 o'clock, y'all. We are the No Cap Sports Show and Podcast where sports and convos collab.
There it is. It's a parade of city.
There are 4 fouls on the play. That's why it took so long. Running into the kicker, number 34 in the kick receiving team. Holding, number 95 on the receiving team.